Some adventures you chase miles for, and others are right outside your door. Dutch Lake is both our first stop and our last word on this Clearwater trip. Durable dads, brothers from other mothers, and sisters from different misters, thanks for tuning in. We're here in Clearwater and we just can't resist. Dutch Lake is calling us straight to the water. Easy access, calm surface, and adventure literally steps from our inn. Over the next couple of days, we'll paddle, explore its corners, and before we leave, we'll be right back out here one last time. Okay, I'm gonna go dip a paddle in Dutch Lake. It's getting around golden hour, maybe a little bit past, but it's still absolutely gorgeous. So this is the time to cool off and get the fresh air before we retire. Now, this is full acknowledgement. Yes, it's a smaller lake, but it's really literally feet from our door. And with the full acknowledgement that, you know what, Wells Gray, Clearwater, has an infinite variety of stellar paddles, coming from like backwoods to family friendly to adventure seeking thrill rides. And you know what? There's plenty of time to come back and check things out, because this is a scouting trip. But for a paddle video, something family friendly with a park just right there and an inn right there and a food truck right there and everything awesome just about 5 minutes away, and the park maybe 45 minutes away. You know what? There's nothing wrong with taking this one just to get our feet wet, so to speak, paddling Clearwater area. Way more to come. Okay, let's go paddle. As you can see, Dutch Lake is pretty small but very well populated. So what the Jasper Way Inn lacks in comfort amenities, it makes up for the fact that there's a food truck right there. There's a public beach like just right across. That's where all those people are jumping from. And I guess we have to hoof our kayaks all the way down there to that little dock. But what a great place to have a morning cup of coffee. Let's see if we can get a paddle in tonight. Hello, Dutch Lake. Let's hang a left and see what's out here. Like I said, it's a pretty small lake. Maybe take us about half an hour. What time is it now? 6:53. Time for a cool evening paddle and check out the environment. Like I said, steps from our door. A great way to unwind after a full day of touristing and hiking. So this is the public access boat launch for everybody. It looks like a lot of people are coming in. Get some Friday night action going. Boating in. And dead ahead, it looks like the other resort. The big one, I think it's called Sevilla or something like that. Looks like they have their own dock and facilities and swimming facilities. Very cool. And I don't know whether this, with the chairs there, is private or not. Anyways, lots of activity on this lake. It's pretty much busy all of the time, even first thing in the morning. So apparently that's a restaurant. Well, I'm glad to be part of the scenery. Happy diners. Cheers. Well, boys, if you're looking for the view, and every lake has a view, that, I would say, is your view. So I kind of came out in this direction to find out what the sign was all about. Well, apparently that's a for sale sign. Now that is pretty clever, putting a for sale sign out on the water. Okay, John Armstrong, you just have a damn good marketing strategy. And I'm tempted, but that's a tease. So most good lakes have an island. And this lake, being Dutch Lake, is no exception apparently. Now, this is a pretty dang small island. Damn small. However, it has a birdhouse and what looks to be like a fire pit on this lonely, I think that's a willow tree. It appears to be. So sometimes people habitate this. Pretty cool. Out here, gear either works or it doesn't. On Durable Dads, we test it before we trust it. And sometimes we screw it up, so you don't have to. If you're into real gear, real coffee, and real adventures, hit subscribe, ring that bell, and join the crew. We drop new videos every week. Yeah, apparently this is a hidden little chunk of the lake. Now there's not much of an opening, and from when you're looking at it from the perspective of where we're staying, this looks like it could be something. And then it opens up into this little space. I don't know whether this right beside us is an island or whether this is just a little back area. Very pretty little back area. That's cool. Little hidden zone. Hello, Dutch Lake. So somebody has a little spot hidden, tucked back in here. I don't think that this loops around. This is more of a promontory than an island. But whoever has that little spot dead ahead, you got it going on. Sweet little homestead. Well, dads, if you ever need to know who you need to know, I'd say look for the guy with the house right on the lake, 5 minutes from town, and in at the cusp of a total adventure zone. That'd be a good guess. So I've sleuthed it out, and that house ahead is what I was looking at from that other end. So that, here, let me spin you, right dead ahead is indeed an island. So stuff you find in the middle of a lake. I can only assume that that miniature sailboat is an RC and somebody's sailing it back home. So speaking of back home, dead ahead is the Jasper Way Inn, our temporary home for this little adventure. And it's getting to be around 7:40. And the light is waning. Time to nose on back home. Okay, it's T-minus just under 2 hours until checkout time. It's been a whirlwind, but the water is glassy. It's just after 9 a.m. It's a beautiful morning, and I cannot resist one more quick tour around the lake. I promised I would. Get some morning B-roll. Anyways, one more for the road. Okay, Dutch Lake, round two. We're gonna go the opposite direction this time. Give you a little bit different sightseeing. It is 11 o'clock, so we're before the heat of the day. This is our final paddle before we fully pack up and get on the road. Nice way to cap things off. Maybe a quick little tour into Clearwater, which are definitely the outfitters. That needs to happen. But yeah, it's just time to be in the moment. I kind of have a question for everybody. And this kind of goes like this. Who wouldn't want to live right there? I know I would, in a heartbeat. Some adventures are about chasing the big sights, but some are about finding the gems that are right outside your door. Dutch Lake welcomed us on day one, and it's where we're wrapping up our Clearwater trip. Easy access, calm waters, and just enough surprises to make it feel special. This place isn't just a stopover. It's the kind of paddle you remember long after you've left. Okay, here's me keeping the coffee warm and the gear dirty. Peace out, Scout.